very good afternoon to you and welcome to Africa Today. I am Peace Ogenegbawe. First, let's talk the headlines. On the headlines, Nigerian Army confirms over 50,000 surrendered terrorists. Bomb explosion hits military camp in Goma. 6 dies. Spain Sanchez visits Morocco, ends year of crisis. And on football, Ivorian blind footballers aim for Paris 2024. Now the news in detail. The defense headquarters has said over 50,000 Boko Haram terrorists and families have surrendered to troops of Operation Hadin Kai, comprising of Borno State, Northeast Nigeria. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Bernard Onyuko, disclosed this during a bi-weekly briefing in Abuja on Thursday. Notably, among the exploits of the troop was the capture of the terrorist stronghold by Ukba Camp Zairo in Sambisa Forest, where some artillery guns, armored personnel carrier, trailers, and large cache of arms and ammunition were captured.
As at 5th April, a total of 51,114 Boko Haram terrorists and their families surrendered to own troops, comprising of 11,398 men, 15,381 women, 24,335 children. This is as at April 5, 2022. Accordingly, all surrendered terrorists have been documented, while the arrested ones and rescued civilians have been handed over to appropriate authorities. Cumulatively within this period, 12,150,000 liters of illegal refined automotive gas oil was confiscated, 4,000 liters of stolen crude oil, 3 tankers, 3 vehicles, 73 galvanized pipes, 2 motorcycles, and some vehicles were seized from illegal oil bunkers.
According to him, troops destroyed terrorist enclaves, captured some terrorists, and destroyed terrorist improvised explosives making factory. Furthermore, troops also rescued kidnapped civilians and arrested terrorist spies and their logistics suppliers. Ohanaeze Ndigbo has reacted to the use of the word amnesty by the Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo to qualify the clemency given to agitators in the state, saying it connotes that the youth have been committing an offense when they are only fighting against marginalization. Ohanaeze, however, lauded Governor Soludo's efforts to rehabilitate aggrieved Igbo youth who are causing trouble in the state and Southeast in general, while protesting the ill treatment being meted to the people of the Southeast. The authority of the Nigerian Federal Capital Territory Administration, that is FCTA, has debunked a report alleging that principals in junior secondary schools in the nation's capital city have been asked to contribute 20,000 naira each as part of efforts to raise 50 million naira ransom demanded by terrorists who recently kidnapped the chairman of the FCT Universal Basic Education Board, that is the FCT UBEB, Sule Al-Hassan. Refuting the publication in Abuja, the Director, Administration and Finance of the FCT Education Secretariat, Abdulrazak Leramo, noted that it was untrue and unknown to the FCT Secretariat and the Universal Basic Education Board of the FCT and to the FCT administration. Leramo disclosed that currently family members of the abducted chairman of the FCT UBEB have been negotiating with the attackers to release the officer, while calling on residents of the FCT and other well-meaning individuals to totally disregard such information and He urged everyone to join the family in prayers in this holy month of Ramadan for a safe release. The FCT UBEP chairman, Sule Al-Hassan, was said to be among passengers of the Abuja-Kaduna train that was recently bombed by terrorists, during which over 100 travelers were believed to have been kidnapped. You're watching Hills TV. When the news returns, news from other parts of West Africa. Just stay with us. Welcome back. The party of former Guinean President Alpha Conde has denounced what it refers to as harassment and arbitrary action of the military junta in power. The party is threatening to suspend participation in national meetings. Domani Dore, spokesperson of the RPG, said it is important to note that unjustified confiscation of the RPG's property throughout the country, as well as freezing of the private accounts of the RPG and its allies, is a disanomaly. Local media had earlier reported that a former Guinean prime minister and 3 former ministers were detained on charges of embezzlement. The detentions come amid a crackdown on the alleged graft by coup leader Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, who seized power last year following Alpha Conde's successful bid for a third term, I beg your pardon. On March 22, Doumbouya launched a 6-week conference with the aim of healing historic wounds in the country, which has a history of authoritarian rule. An explosion that's killed at least 6 people and wounded 3 others in a bar in Kantindo military camp on Thursday night in Goma, the capital of North Kivu in eastern DR Congo. Among the victims, 2 senior officers of the Congolese army and 3 women and a child were involved. As of today, the military governor of North Kivu told the press that the origin of the explosion has not yet been determined, while the governor assured the population that the authorities were doing everything possible to shed light on the events. North Kivu province has been on the siege for more than a year due to the activism of national and foreign armed groups. This is not the first time such incidents is occurring, as at June 2021, a child died and 3 other people were injured in a fire near North Kivu Military Auditorium in the same camp. Lawyers representing the family of former Burkina Faso leader Thomas Sankara, assassinated in 1987, are demanding that former President Blaise Compaoré be extradited to serve his life sentence. According to lawyer Prosper Farama, he demanded if it is not a travesty of justice, then the state must do everything possible while respecting the rights of the convicted. He added that the family insists on this so that this decision is carried out if they must afterwards have the right to a pardon, to an amnesty, that it is done according to the rules. Another lawyer, Benewende Stanislas Sankara, added that it is possible to bring in justice to bear on the side again, saying it will be a matter of the collective of lawyers in consent with the families. Report states that Blaise Compaoré is currently exiled in Ivory Coast. In 2016, the former leader acquired Ivorian citizenship. Compaoré was sentenced in absentia on Wednesday by a military court in Ouagadougou, and he's been brought back to his home. You're watching Africa Today on Hills TV. We move to other parts of Africa after this break. You're welcome back. Morocco's King Mohammed VI has hosted Spain's Prime Minister on Thursday. A landmark visit is aimed at ending a year-long diplomatic crisis after Madrid reversed decades of neutrality on the Western Sahara conflict. The move is seen as a U-turn that has angered Algeria and has sparked a domestic backlash with Spain's parliament on Thursday. Pedro Sanchez, Spanish Prime Minister, said it was a historic moment for both countries that is necessary in defining their bilateral relations. And now, still talking news on Africa Today, Madagascar's Defense Minister, Leon Richard Makotonirina, has revealed that a military cooperation deal agreement between Madagascar and Russia signed in January is nothing out of the ordinary. It said this in response to questions about a deal during a meeting with a Chinese defense attaché and the Indian ambassador. Earlier, United News of India had reported that it was 5 years agreement with the possibility of extension on military and technical cooperation. Up next is business news on Africa Today. Do stay with us. You're welcome back. Akinwumi Adebayo has inaugurated the reconstituted Enlarged National Focal Point, that is the ENFPF, with a mandate to serve as a forum for systematic consultation and collaboration among relevant government ministries, agencies, and the private sector for the effective management of trade matters. During the inauguration of the ENPF, chaired by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Evelyn Ngige, Adebayo of the AFDB explained that the objectives of the ENPF is to serve as the platform to promote Nigeria's interest in all trade negotiation through the proper articulation and harmonization of the country's negotiation position. According to him, the increase in the number and complexity of trade and trade-related issues in the 21st century, including the associated sectoral interlinkages, has challenged the ability of both developed and developing countries to manage, negotiate, and implement trade agreements. And moving on, we have the story that Nigeria's Minister of Science, Technology, and Innovation, Ogbonnaya Onu, has said African countries need to add value to their abundant natural resources in order to achieve socio-economic development. Onu stressed the need for socio-economic self-reliance so as to reduce imports and for African countries to produce goods and services needed by them. The minister made this of the African Union Scientific, Technical and Research Commission visited him, led by His Excellency Mohamed Belloussin, in a courtesy visit in Abuja, Nigeria. He further explained that the difference between developed and developing country is in terms of investments in science, technology, and innovation. That is the STI. Africa Today News returns with sports news. Do stay with us.
Good afternoon. I'm Richard Badum. Now to sports. Efforts to bring Nigeria back to the Committee of Rugby Playing Nations will soon bear fruits. President of Nigeria Rugby Football Federation, that is NRFF, Ademola Are, said in Abuja. Are said the ban placed on Nigeria armed the development and growth of the game in the country, and all hands had since been on deck to effect a change. The NRFF president was optimistic that having sent to World Rugby, the sports international governing body, the NRFF constitution, as well as reports, pictures and minutes of their meetings, there would be a reaction. Are said it is expected that Rugby Africa, the continental body, will send all observations to the World Rugby for deliberation and approval during their Congress in May. Côte d'Ivoire blind football team is working hard as the team dreams of participating in Sisyphus as a discipline reserved for the visually impaired at the Paralympic Olympics to be held in Paris in 2024. Ivorian blind footballer Amel Assi Jejer recounted his ordeal at the beginning, saying it was difficult, but as time went on, he realized that still loved the sport, and this led him to developing another sense of and adapting. The players are now dreaming of becoming the first team from sub-Saharan Africa to participate in the Paralympic Games in 2024 Paris. Blind football coach Christian Atse says he sees a challenge and also an opportunity for the team. To achieve this, they will have to finish on the podium of the next African Championship taking place in Morocco come November this year. Established in March 2015, the Ivorian national Sisyphus team has already participated in 2 African Nations Cup for the blind and visually impaired. Black Stars interim head coach Otto Addo is confident in the Black Stars will make a good impact at the upcoming 2022 FIFA World Cup, Uruguay and South Korea in Group H of the Global Show event. The Black Stars had a poor outing at the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon held early in the year and managed to beat eternal rivals Nigeria on an away goal rule to qualify for the Mundial. Addo is confident with adequate preparations. Addo's side will open their tournament at the 2022 World Cup by taking on Portugal before playing Uruguay and then wrap up their group game with a clash with South Korea. And that's Africa Today. But over to Peace Ogenegbawe for the rest of the news. I'm Richard Badum.
Thank you so much, Richard Badun, for the sports news. And that's Africa Today. But before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you that the Nigerian army has confirmed over 50,000 surrendered terrorists. We also brought to you the fact that bomb explosion has hit a military camp in Goma and has killed 6 people. We also told you that Spanish Sanchez has visited Morocco to end year-long crisis. And on sports news, the Ivorian blind footballers are ready for Paris 2024. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hills TV, Instagram at Hills TV, our YouTube channel. Please do subscribe at Hills TV. I am Peace Ogenegbawe. Thank you for watching.